substance-based opinions of Dr. Fred Harvey, the callers, and his guests. These are not the opinions of the staff, the volunteers, or the board of WMNF. The information provided on the show is not intended to diagnose or treat any disease. There is no implied patient-physician relationship in these calls. The nature of the calls is educational and informational only.
Howdy, howdy, howdy to you, my true and constant friend out there in the vast beyond, and welcome to the Healthy Steps radio show here on WMNF Tampa, the best darn station anywhere between 88 and 108 megahertz, and the only community radio station that George Smiley would ever stream, and indeed, you can stream us as well at WMNF.org. Today is Ask Me Anything Monday, and that is a deep well of possibilities. The whole kit and caboodle depends on your questions, comments, and concerns. So let's keep my favorite phone answering megastar Irene busy this morning. Just give us a call at 813-239-9663. I know that you have that number in your notes, but let me give it once again. Give us a call at 813-239-9663. You can send an email to dj@wmnf.org. And last but not least, you can also send us a text at 813-433-0885. Good morning to you, Dr. Harvey. Let me do my talking bullet point introduction. It is Ask Me Anything Monday. What have you got to get us started today, Dr. Fred?
Well, good morning, all you healthy steppers, and thanks for that intro, Bill.
It's always a pleasure for you, Doctor. I hope you've been staying warm and had a great Thanksgiving.
It's been really fun staying warm. I just keep moving, put a couple of layers on, and Thanksgiving was delightful. Got to see family and spend some lovely time and eat some wonderful food. Hope yours was as well. So, interesting things in the news. Never stops. It's wonderful. I love information. I went on a little healthy step and walk this morning to get my circulation going as usual, and came back and found an article that talks about how we can actually improve our overall health expenditures by spending some time outside in nature. Somebody at an Australian university actually did some calculations, and it's hard to tell how accurate they are, but he suggested that people who spend a good amount of time outdoors might actually save $100 per medical office visit. Kind of interesting, but it really brings home the point that we're designed to be outdoors. You know, we were born in the outdoors hundreds of thousands of years ago. We didn't have shelters. It's nice to have them, but we're part of nature, and it's really nice to get out there and be part of nature because our bodies actually remember it. Our minds remember it. Our spirits remember it because we're a part of this whole living organism called Earth, and all the parts are part of us. So we need to be involved because the more we are, the better we feel. And it seems that man has decided that he's separate from nature and does all these crazy things that endanger all of us and all species. The fact that we have a whole cadre of individuals who either through ignorance or purposeful, willful denial have decided that the climate changes that are occurring are not created by man's excessive burning of carbon. And we're just going to do a juggernaut on into the future with that. And as we do so, these byproducts of carbon production, carbon utilization, in all kinds of things, especially in the invisible chemicals that we spread around our environment, like the PFAS, the polyfluorinated alkyl substances, the forever chemicals that cause cancer and all kinds of things. But they're even more so. I mean, some of them, they might be invisible, but they are noticeable.
Ladies and gentlemen, due to circumstances beyond our control.
Hello. Sounded like we were entering some reefer madness there. But fragrances. When you smell those lovely fragrances that our industrial chemical powerhouses produce to cover up the unwanted fragrances from rotted food and from stinky bodies. Maybe we should really rethink this. The phthalates that occur in many popular perfumes are associated with obesity, insulin resistance, cardiovascular disease, and impaired neurodevelopment and neurodegenerative diseases. How's that for a mouthful? So whenever you spray yourself with Axe or whatever your favorite synthetic stinkum is, you're actually increasing your risk of medical illness. You know, they found that dementia is increased when your cholesterol levels are highly variable. Well, you know what causes cholesterol levels to go crazy? Toxins. And you know what toxins are? There are things like phthalates in your fragrances. So the next time you pick up that beautiful bottle of purple Fabuloso, put it back down and suggest to the manufacturer that they never produce this poison again. Not only is the purple color a toxin, but the fragrance is killing you as you're cleaning your environment. Fabulous, Fabuloso, and many others like it. You know, the permanent fragrance that Gain leaves in your clothing, that Tide leaves in your clothing. Well, yeah, that's poison. It causes high cholesterol. It causes damage to your brain, to your vascular system, and induces cancer. It is a hormone disruptive problem. And so it causes these things that kill us. It's designed not to help, but to kill. And so, you know, we throw a lot of statins around to treat high cholesterol, but why don't we actually detoxify the body? There's actually a study that just came out recently that talks about the fluctuating levels of cholesterol and how they actually unexplained change in cholesterol may be associated with a higher risk of dementia. A new study shows, well, dementia is caused by toxicity, and cholesterol goes up when you're exposed to pesticides and other toxins. So maybe we ought to be looking at the real causes of our illnesses and not let industry get away with it. There's a thing called accountability that I think we need to pay attention to and actually really consider what next to do with these job creator polluters. You know, there's some mixed benefits. They actually employ people, but do we want to employ people making poisons that cause cancers, that employ other people to create the chemicals that treat the cancers? Why don't we stop making the chemicals that cause the cancers? Why don't we stop allowing them to be used in food? I mean, the EU bans 1,800 substances so far. We ban 11. What's wrong with America that we allow our polluters to pollute our food? You know, there's a new published article, again, why is MS increasing among women? Multiple sclerosis, a brain degenerative autoimmune disease where your immune system eats your brain. Great stuff. You don't need worms, you have your own immune system. RFK didn't have an advantage there with the worm. You don't either when you do things that cause MS. And guess what? MS is caused by toxins. It's triggered by these poisons that alter our immune system's functioning. And so when we eliminate some of the poisons that trigger the immune system to be more active, like gluten and egg whites, that helps. But maybe if we got rid of some of the poisons in our bodies that actually ruin the immune system and trigger it to do these weird things, that could be another method of helping it out. Hey, I think we've got a caller.
Yes, I've got David on the line. Good morning to you, David. David?
Yes. Good
Hi,
morning.
David.
Hello. I'd like to say it's amazing what you're doing here on these healthy steps. I love it, and all the listeners, I'm sure, are enjoying it. Yes, my wife started making her own soap, my own shampoo. Everything that we're eating is pretty much coming out of the backyard. We're growing everything. I don't feel like I'm being poisoned anymore. I feel much better. I'm 61. I use no medicine whatsoever. And, yeah. So, two off-topic questions I have for you. I remember checking out the radio station's website, and there was a picture of you there, Doctor. Are you still sporting a handlebar mustache?
The handlebars have gone. It's too much trouble to keep up.
I know, isn't it? I just started. Oh, and two, you ride a motorcycle?
I do not.
Oh.
Saw too many wrecks when I worked in the ER and watched my brother get injured when we were kids. It's like, nah, I don't need to.
Yeah, sorry. Okay, that's it. Great, thank you. Thank you for what you're doing. Thank you, sir.
David, thank you for your input. And I really appreciate that you have decided to live the lifestyle and told us about it. That's awesome because, the fact that you guys grow so much of your own food, that's what we all need to be doing. We won World War II because we grew 40% of all food in America on our own land. We fed ourselves. We need to start doing that again and stop depending on multinational global corporations to poison us.
I agree. I feel wonderful.
Excellent. So glad to hear it.
Thank you, sir.
Have a great week.
Okay, bye-bye.
Hey there, Doctor. We do have a couple of callers. It looks like I've got 3 in a row, a little hat trick, but I'm going to give out the number one more time and remind folks that you're listening to the Healthy Steps Radio Show with Dr. Fred Harvey here on WMNF Tampa. And we're inviting you to participate. Give us a call at 813-239-9663. Irene's waiting for that call. She's always good about that. You can also send an email to dj@wmnf.org. But the lucky number to call is 813-239-9663. Let's go to William in Tampa.
Hey there, how's it going?
Excellent, William. How are you?
Not too bad. Let me ask you, listen, I got to tell you, you're not going to stop this stuff. It's just not going to happen. You're shaving in the morning, you're bathing in the morning, you're brushing your teeth. I can guarantee you 75 to 90% of your day is with all the chemicals you're talking about for us not to use. I don't even know, whatever you're using. You're cleaning your floors with what? Water? It's not going to happen. You're going to wash your clothes with water. That's what detergents are for. You're not going to stop this stuff. Go ahead and see if you could sue the big Procter and Gambles and get them off the map. Not going to happen. Not going to happen.
You're a nihilist, and I don't appreciate your nihilism, but that's okay. In actuality, yes, I do brush my teeth, and I use soap, and I actually use detergent in the laundry, but I don't use the kind of stuff that is poison. There are no fragrances in the things I use. The toothpaste that I use is a combination of baking soda, salt, and 17 different essential oils. I'm not sure why you believe the things that you believe, but that's completely erroneous. And there are opportunities and options for all of us to actually get rid of this stuff. And if we stop buying the pollution from Procter & Gamble and other large multinationals, they will die. It's easy. Stop using the stuff. Boycott it and buy the stuff from companies that don't make it or make it yourself.
Well, baking soda is going to just ruin your teeth anyway, or else they'd be telling you to just brush your teeth with baking soda. It's too.
So when you learn a little bit about healthcare, that would be interesting. But I think our conversation is over because you have nothing positive to say about anything. Goodbye, sir.
Something's disagreeing with you. That's why it's over.
No, you just are saying nonsense. That's absolutely not backed up by anything in science. You're just spouting off ridiculous nonsense.
Junk.
You're talking junk. That's exactly what it is. You're talking smack.
So are you.
I'm telling you the truth. I actually buy products that don't have artificial fragrances. I use them all the time. I don't know what you're talking about, but you're not living in the same state that I am, sir.
I would think that all these people that use perfume and cologne are all going to die early from dementia and MS. What are you serious?
Well, they're actually working on it, sir, because you just don't understand because you don't read scientific literature. It's a sad thing that you actually like to give your opinion when there's nothing to back up your opinion.
Such as yours, just like L. Ron Hubbard and everybody else out there.
End of conversation. Bill, let's move on. This guy is from another planet.
We've moved on. Let's circle ours.
Is there anybody else on the line today?
Yes, indeed. I've got Maria from Indian Rocks. Good morning, Marie.
Morning. How are you guys doing today?
Fantastic. How are you today?
I'm doing good. I don't know why that man was so angry because
he uses too many fragrances.
Yeah, it's in, the problem is for me mostly is the fact that we're feeding. It's in all of our food, like you said.
Yeah.
Even the cereal that the children are eating every day. I always worry about my nieces because they are doing plug-ins, and they do plug-ins in their car now. And
oh my God!
And
Poison
yeah,
it.
so
Those are
it even
poison
says
ends.
on the back of those, don't breathe in.
Yeah. Here, fill your air with it, but don't breathe the stuff.
Right. It's scary to me, and it is serious. And then, just lead alone getting in your system. So why people don't understand the seriousness of it is confusing to me. But
Well, you have to remember that half the population really doesn't get it. They just aren't really actually interested in education and unable to get the education.
Right. They're uneducated. Unfortunately, that's our system. I mean, we should be teaching early on how to eat healthy. The whole system should be based from when they're in school about eating healthy, how to keep safe from toxins, because poison has destroyed, so many parts of our world, people and planet and food. So I just want to say thank you so much for bringing awareness. We try to go with minimal chemicals. Yes, when you're outside, you need to bleach your porch. By all means, the gentleman didn't need to be angry about it. You're going to do it. That's fine. Just be smart about it. But, we use mostly vinegar and stuff like that in the house. And, I don't know why he was so angry. And
people are angry. People are angry today, and I do believe that the excessive use of these toxic chemicals causes emotional disruption. We know that the fragrances are hormone disruptors. They cause thinking changes.
They do. I agree. Anything you put in your body that is a chemical is going to affect you, either positively or negatively, but it does. So anyways, I just want to say thank you for what you do, and don't let the Debbie Downers get you down.
Oh, I don't. I'm quite happy. I just wish to get some education. You too.
All right, bye.
All right, where I like it. We've got a full board. Let's go to Dana. Good morning, Dana.
Good morning. Good morning. Thank you for taking my call.
You're welcome.
I just want to say I'm so happy to hear that you are prepared to pivot when you receive calls like that one. You're ready to answer them. And unfortunately, it takes that kind of verve to deal with people who are comfortable in their complacency, and which is, I think, one of our problems. We're kind of our own worst enemy, not really wanting to take the time to do the research and learn what harms us, what helps us, and how we can live better together, right? So Oh, I'm sorry. Did I cut you off?
No, I just said right. Yes, I was agreeing.
I'm so thankful that there's such a thing as this kind of show where we can have this kind of dialogue. It's important. And so I want to thank you for being here. And then the second thing I want to say is I'm curious if you have any information about a potential correlation between what's happening with our sun right now. Our sun is in a very active phase, and we're seeing lots and lots of solar flares that are reaching pretty far out from the sun. At the same time, we have an increasing amount of carbons in our atmosphere, and fires happening in very interesting places. So I'm wondering if you know anything about a potential correlation between the two, and whether or not we should be even more so concerned during this phase of the sun. And thank you.
You're so welcome. Thank you for your call. What I understand astronomically is the sun, as a living being, has an in-breath and an out-breath. And periodically, as it breathes out, it sends more solar flares out, and then it goes through rest periods. And I believe that the periodic cycle for that is about 11 years, and I think we're actually close to a peak. And so that's why we're probably seeing more activity.
Mm-hmm. So what do you think that might mean for us, given that we have that our atmosphere is not as, it can't be as protective as it has been historically because it's full of junk?
Well, actually, the radiation fields are what protects us. The magnetic field is what protects us from the solar flares. However, the increase in energetic explosions from the sun, and some of them directed perfectly at Earth, have increased the energies on Earth, and that in turn causes changes in the atmosphere and changes in weather patterns, and yes, could be associated with more wildfires because of the increased energy overall.
I see. That's kind of makes sense, you know. It makes
Yes.
sense. Yeah. Well, I thank you for your time with me. Again, I'm enjoying listening to your show this morning. I'm a first-time listener. I have something else that I'm normally doing at this time. Today was an exception, and I happened upon this show, and I'm so glad that you're here. Everything I can do to be a regular listener, I will be here. It's happening.
Great. Well, I'm glad you're here, and you can listen to shows on the archive. You can hear, I think, several years worth of these shows because they don't get purged as quickly as the music shows. But the talk shows, I have several years worth of shows you can go back and listen to.
Awesome. I will do that. Thank you so much for your time.
You're so welcome.
Thank you. Thank you, Dana. We appreciate that very much. And yes, I do have 3 people on the board, but I'm going to remind folks you're listening to the Healthy Steps Radio Show, and Dr. Fred Harvey is sitting on in to answer your questions. If you give us a call at 813-239-9663, and Irene is sitting on in to take those calls and put you in the queue. That number again, 813-239-9663. We have received some emails, so you can send them on in as well at dj@wmnf.org. Let's go to Daniel in Bradenton. Good morning, Daniel.
Good morning.
Good morning, Daniel.
How are you?
I'm doing great. How are you today?
Good. I'm calling to get your opinion on, I guess it would be considered a supplement. It's called ashwagandha.
Yes.
And if you are a proponent of that, and if so, what form would you recommend, the powder or the liquid extract?
Ashwagandha is what they call an adaptogenic herb. It helps people deal with stressful situations and balance anxiety and mood. I have used it in the capsule form as a powdered extract. I don't do a lot of liquid extracts, but they work as well. It's definitely something that you could try if you have some anxiety or some stress and see how you feel using it. But if it persists, I would say that you should get an evaluation by a practitioner about why you're feeling imbalanced.
Right. Would you have any recommendation in terms of dosage amount?
No, I think you can find that online. Any bottle you buy would give you a general, and I think that there's different concentrations in the different extracts. So each one probably has its own dosing regimen.
Okay. All right. Well, thanks for your opinion. Have a great
You're welcome.
day. Yep.
Yes.
Thank you there, Daniel. And let's go to one of our favorite regulars. This is Gary in Clearwater. Good morning, Gary.
Well, good morning, you guys.
Good morning, Gary.
Hi. I have 2 questions for you. My first question is, how the heck am I going to survive mental status during the next 4 years of Trump? Any advice?
Yeah, ignore it. There's nothing you're going to do about the fact that we have a convicted felon mobster for president, but he's there. So why don't you work on what you do in each and every day? And every day, get up and take a walk outside. That's the first thing you can do to lift your mood after you drink a nice big glass of water. And then when you come back, have a nice guided meditation that is about positivity, gratitude, and uplifting your spirits. And then maybe journal about how wonderful your life is and how much abundance you have in your life. And then the next thing you do is you join the forward party and you start working to develop a third party that might actually get us out of the morass of the 2-party devastation in which we currently reside. And constantly, every day, work to serve others and to serve all of humanity to make our world better. And that in and of itself will keep you so busy that you won't have time to think about possibly becoming sad because you didn't get what you wanted in the election. How's that?
You said exactly what I do now.
Beautiful. Keep it up, buddy.
My best friends are retired pastors, and they're so positive. And the second question I have is, when I go buy some organic, like I go to a Sprouts and all that, how do they know it's organic?
Well, you can only do as much as trust the people that labeled it. I don't know that I would trust anything that's labeled organic coming from China. But I think many of the people, and I think even in China, they try to do an ethical job, but I think there's a lot that try to get away with stuff, even here in America. And so pay attention. Look for, better manufacturers. But, even the problem, of poison in our environment, invisible poison, you can find glyphosate in organic California wine because the farm next door sprayed with glyphosate and it ran off into the water table of the farm next door that was organic. And so there are problems. And until we stop allowing these people to poison our environment for profit, we will be subjected to poisons in our environment.
Especially with this current administration. You talk about poisoning the environment.
This has been happening in every American administration since the dawn of time. We are a fascist capitalist country where the corporations dictate both parties' instructions. And so we've been owned by job creators poisoning us for at least 70 years, at least since the war, if not before. So no, it's not this administration or that administration. It's the fact that we allow fascism to run our nation. That's the problem. We allow corporate fascism to run our nation.
And I've been on long enough to thank you again.
Yep. So Gary, you're always positive. You're always looking for new things to do to keep yourself healthy. I love you, brother. Keep it up and have a wonderful holiday season.
See you guys.
Thank you, Gary, as always. And after this caller, Bill from Brooksville, we're going to be dry on the board, so I'm going to remind folks, please give us a call. You are enjoying the Healthy Steps Radio show with Dr. Fred Harvey. Give us your questions and your concerns. Dial 813-239-9663. Again, that number is 813-239-9663. And continue sending your emails to dj@wmnf.org. Good morning, Bill.
Hello. Good morning.
Hi there.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Can you hear? Okay. This is Bill. I like to give blood and platelets, and I use that as a healthy thing, and that it's forcing my body to make stuff. The people at One Blood said that my platelet count was too low and my blood was weak. What can I do to strengthen my blood?
Well, I think the first thing to do is to find out why you have weak blood.
But I take lots of supplements and try to eat as healthy as possible. But
good.
That's what I'm wondering. What can I add to that? What can I do?
What you can do is go to a doctor and find out what that means. Because honestly, there's no diagnosis called weak blood. There is a diagnosis called low platelet count. And so do you have an autoimmune disease that's causing your platelet count to go low, your blood to be weak, or do you have something else going on?
There must be something else going on because I do work out and I get outside quite a bit. And like I say, I take lots of supplements. I take about...
Yeah, but you still could have an autoimmune disease that is killing your platelets.
Okay, well, I will go to my primary and talk to her about that then.
I think that's a good idea because low platelets can lead to bleeding problems, and it is something that happens from a lot of different causes. So I get it evaluated.
Okay, yeah, well, I have the thing there is when I heal, like when I give blood, I heal almost immediately. And so I can't imagine that my platelets are weak, but I will go and talk to my primary and have her give me another blood test and And but there's nothing you could recommend that I should be taking to improve my blood.
Yes, go to see a doctor and find out why your blood isn't good. If you do all this other stuff and you're healthy, why do you have a problem? Don't take random supplements to support something that's actually a diagnosed medical problem. Find out what the heck to do about it. What caused it?
Okay. Well, I will do that then. I'll go by there as soon as possible. Thank you
Brilliant.
very much, Doctor. Appreciate it.
You're welcome.
Well, I've got two for us there, Doctor. I've got Bob and Jim. Let's go to Bob in Port Richey.
Yeah, I got something I've observed in the last 2 weeks at my house.
What's that?
We use Dawn soap to do dishes, and lately, I want to say in the last year, that the smell of Dawn soap does not leave the frying pans or the whatever we're washing.
Yes,
the smell is just getting more and more intense, and it's like when I fry an egg in the morning, I smell Dawn soap. So I says to my wife, "Are you sure you're rinsing this stuff enough?" So I rinse the pan myself, put it on there. Dawn soap smell comes right up into my face. And that's one thing I don't want to smell when I'm cooking eggs over easy in the morning or whatever.
I have a question for you.
It smells on everything. Yeah, go ahead.
I have a question. Do you use a non-stick surface pan?
One of them, it's black, but it doesn't have the Teflon. It isn't Teflon. It's some other kind of surface they put on there. It's like nothing ever peels off. There's never any black specks or anything.
Okay.
But it's in the glasses. It's in the plates.
Yeah.
The dinner plate.
So, yeah. Glass is somewhat porous, so it'll stick to the surface, even though it looks smooth. There's little holes in there. Same thing for your pans, and then the chemical coating on the nonstick pan definitely would attract those chemicals.
Right.
Yeah, these are
so what we did. My wife found some dish detergent that's clear, and it's free of all these things. And I can't remember the name. It's kind of a weird name, but it's expensive as heck. But it's like it leaves no smell. The only thing it doesn't do, it isn't a very good degreaser. So you can find some.
You can find some good degreasers that aren't fragranced, but the type of detergent in the ones that are fragranced is very effective at getting grease up, but they put these poison fragrances in and poison colors. So if you could find an unscented one of those that's a good degreaser, that would be great. But really using things from other companies like Myers Clean Day and Seventh Generation they are making organic, non-poison substances.
Yeah, because Dawn never had this odor before. It had a little smell.
They keep making more nasty fragrances to poison us.
That's it. I mean, what the heck are these people doing to it? They should just leave things the way they were. Dawn always worked fine before without all that odor and that smell. But it's bad. Now we got this big giant thing of Dawn that I guess we're going to have to use to wash the car with or something.
No, you could also send it to the landfill and start over.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, what do we do with this stuff?
Its way there sooner or later.
Yeah, it's already produced, so we've already got the poison there. What do we do with all these poisons we've already created? We have a lot of cleanup to do.
I'm not getting political, but I'm kind of leaning towards that guy, that Kennedy, where he says he wants to take all this stuff out of our food because we're the only country in the world that has all these additives in our foods.
I wish him luck because he's only one man against a massive corporate fascism. I don't think we're going anywhere right away. Like the angry man earlier, William, in the show had talked about, these giant multinationals control our government. Once we can get them out of control, then we might have a chance of fixing things.
Right. Let's just all hope and pray. Forget about Trump. Forget about everybody.
Yeah,
forget
exactly.
what Biden's doing with his kid. Let's just get this place together here. And let's all agree on something at one time,
I think we have some commonality. Thanks for your input.
Hey, no problem. Thanks for having your show. You got a good show. Have a good
Thank you. You too.
Bye.
Thank you there. We appreciate that, Bob. And I do have Jim in Riverview, but we're down to about the last 20 minutes, and I'm going to invite people to participate in the Healthy Steps radio show by giving us a call at 813-239-9663. Irene's waiting for that jingle. The number again, 813-239-9663, or continue sending the emails to dj@wmnf.org. Hey, Jim, how are you today?
Good morning, Jim.
Good morning. Yes, I have a question. And really it pertains to both my wife and I. I have diabetes, and I finally got my sugar in line. It took 6 months, and it was really only because I was eating all the wrong stuff. So I've got that almost perfect. I average, for a whole week, my blood will average like 96.
Excellent.
My blood sugar. But anyway, and I'm wondering, the problem I have is at night when we sleep, even my wife, we both get leg cramps, something terrible. And, you know, I feel like I'm eating right and everything. I don't understand why I keep getting these leg cramps, like even last night. And I had to get up and take 2 of those leg cramp pills. The pain is enormous. My muscle tightens so hard, there's like a line down the middle of it. I don't know why I keep getting them.
So how much magnesium is in your supplement regimen?
Well, I mean, I eat like...
How much magnesium is in your supplement regimen?
I don't know.
Do you take supplemental magnesium?
No, I don't take anything supplemental.
Okay. Magnesium is something that many people are deficient in. Do you eat 8 servings of leafy greens a day?
Yes.
Good. So you should be getting the magnesium. Is it organic or is it traditional?
No, it's just traditional, and I eat like 2 different veggies every night. Most of them are green. Like, you know, I'll have green beans and broccoli. I'll have collard greens. I'll have, you know, things of that nature. But every now and then we switch it up, and I'll eat some corn or some carrots, you know.
But you're getting like 4 cups of leafy greens a day.
I wouldn't say 4 cups a day. I'd probably say two, maybe 3.
That's pretty good. So you get magnesium from leafy greens. So that's a good source to increase. You also get calcium there, but you may need to take a nice magnesium glycinate capsule and get 200, 400 milligrams of magnesium glycinate a day. That really seems to help calm muscle spasms. If you don't have any kidney problems. If you have kidney problems, you need to do a lower dose of it. But most people can tolerate 200 to 400 milligrams of magnesium without a problem.
Gotcha. And that'll help on the leg cramps.
It generally does. And if you don't want to take it, get some magnesium oil, some magnesium chloride oil, and rub it on your legs at night before you go to bed. It may help.
Yeah, because I'm telling you, it wakes you up in the middle of the night, and it hurts so darn bad it's not even funny. I'm living off of leg cramp pills at night.
Yeah, so try something different than that. What is in your leg cramp pill, by the way? I don't know what that is.
You buy them like at the drugstore. They're just a little bottle of pills. It says leg cramps. And they really work. I take 2 of them, and it takes about 5 to 10 minutes, and you can just feel that muscle totally relaxed.
Huh. Wonder what it is.
So I really don't know what it is, but I know they work, so I swear by them. But I'm just wondering if it's in my diet or something, because, like I said, I eat mostly 2 big servings of veggies and protein, like chicken or a steak or something of that nature, you know. And during the day, even at lunch, I eat tuna fish. I'll eat deviled eggs. I'll eat things of that nature, you know, because of my weight. I lost 42 pounds in 6 months.
Wow, that's great. So you might want to actually get a good nutritional evaluation. If you lost that much weight and you don't take any supplementation, you may be deficient in something. So check out ifm.org, Institute for Functional Medicine.org, and search for a functional medicine doctor near you and get a full evaluation.
Yeah, maybe I need to do that. My wife's the same way, too. I mean, she has the same leg cramp. That's why we were thinking, is it something we're eating? Because we pretty much eat the same thing.
I think it's something you're not eating.
Yeah, that's possible. I might try the potassium, like you said, or the magnesium,
And potassium can also help. Bananas, cantaloupe, celery.
Right. I eat a lot of celery too. I mean,
yeah. So it may be worth getting evaluated.
All right. I appreciate it.
Take care.
All right. Bye-bye.
Thank you there, Jim. Let's go to Kenny in Tampa. Good morning, Kenny.
Hey, how y'all doing? Y'all have a great show. It really helps the normal people to hear this, to open our eyes to things like the products and stuff, things that we don't think about. And I want to say about the leg cramps, I suffer from the exact same thing. And I think as we age, maybe our body doesn't use the things that we eat as well or whatever. I'm not sure. But something that has worked for me is dill pickle juice that's available at Publix. And also, like you said, the magnesium and the potassium has helped. I've also used those same pills, the leg cramp pills. They're natural ingredients that you find at, like he said, Walgreens or anywhere. But I just want to thank y'all for being out here.
Glad to help.
Doing what you do.
Yeah, so glad to be here for you, Kenny. Have a wonderful day.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you there, Kenny. And I've got Penny and Anne Marie. Let's go to Penny in St. Pete. Good morning.
Morning.
Good morning, Penny.
Yeah, so the only water that I drink is seltzer water, bottled seltzer water. Is there anything wrong with that?
No, not really. It's filtered water. It's clean. If you like the bubbles, you like the bubbles. As long as you're not doing soda water, because that has extra sodium in it. But seltzer water has just got carbon dioxide, so yeah, that should be fine.
Well, it doesn't have any minerals in it.
Well, it's got the minerals that whatever they had in there to begin with, unless it's RO water they put into the can.
Okay, that's great to hear. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, got a quick comment from Anne Marie. Good morning, Anne Marie.
Dr. Harvey, isn't dehydration also a cause of cramping? Because a lot of people just don't drink enough water.
No, you're right. I'm glad you mentioned that. It is very true. Extra water is if you have a cramp, if you have a headache, drink a glass of water. Wait 10 minutes. See what happens.
And can I make a quick comment? People in laundromats, please take home your plastic for recycling. It's amazing how people just leave these plastic bottles and then they go in a bag and then they go in the ground. We need to bring the plastic. Yes, please. You're the best. I love you.
Thank you. Have a wonderful week. Have great holidays.
Thank you there, Anne Marie. And I agree with that as well, Dr. Harvey. You are the best. But we've gone dark in here, and I'm going to give on out the phone number and such while you look over the emails. I know you've gotten a slew of them.
I do.
And folks, give us a call. The Healthy Steps Radio Show here on WMNF Tampa. Dr. Fred Harvey is waiting for your questions and your concerns. Give us a call at 813-239-9663. And you can send your emails to dj@wmnf.org. Just so that you get a chance to give a call to Irene and the Healthy Steps Radio Show. That number again is 813-239-9663. I'll thank her up ahead. Thank you, Irene, for answering the calls.
So we do have a few emails here. John asks, is there any consensus in the industry on the safety of vaping versus smoking marijuana? And no, there isn't. But there is a common sense thought that burnt particulate is toxic. So yeah, it's probably not a good idea to smoke versus vape. However, vaping is convenient. Vaping can be habitual, and the dose in the vape is high. So repetitive vaping actually can cause tachyphylaxis, increase in dose. So you might end up getting to a point where you're using too much with the vape. It's not been studied well enough to understand exact dose points for people or whether there's ranges, because our federal government is so benighted and will not allow us to actually do clinical research. Most of it comes out of Israel because they actually are allowing the clinical research and they're even developing products. here we have an industry that is not regulated very much at all, and they're just making all kinds of stuff. And they put flavors into some of these vapes. And do we really want flavors and fragrances and things in there that aren't from the original plant? There's so many questions about it. Plus, you're vaping through a device that has metal in it. Is the metal clean? When you heat up the metal, is it putting metals into the vapor? It's in a plastic container. Is the plastic actually degrading with the heat? Is it coming into the vape? I have no idea about so many of these issues, and most people don't. So there are so many questions out there that need to be answered. We need to actually get our federal government to unrestrict it so we can actually study it. There are too many questions to actually make actual really good, solid recommendations, though I'm sure that the cannabis doctors would argue with me on that. We just don't have enough research. So here's an interesting one. Are nitrates from celery powder harmful? Well, nitrates are nitrates, naturally occurring or not. The added nitrates, when you really increase the amount of nitrates in the food, you're going to increase your risk. The amount in celery powder is naturally occurring celery. So there are going to be some of these chemicals that show up because they're naturally occurring organic chemicals. How much is bad? Really hard to tell. We have numerous callers, it seems.
Yeah, we do. They're all creeping on in the last 7 or 8 minutes of the show. So let's get started with them. I've got, looks like Jerry from let's go to Stephanie in Bradenton.
Hello, Stephanie.
Yes, this is Stephanie.
How are you?
I'm good, thank you. I called I didn't hear the whole show today, but I heard the caller talking about the Dawn dish detergent.
Yes.
During the pandemic, that's when they introduced the Dawn Ultra, and I hand washed dishes, and I really loved it because it worked so well. But after about 3 weeks, the palms of my hands began to itch severely, and then they blistered.
Yes.
And I went to an allergist who tested me for all kinds of things, and it turns out that I now have contact allergies to nickel, which is everything, and the Caine group, CAINE, which includes all kinds of cleaners and dyes and blue products and things like that. And I never had those kind of allergies until I started using the Dawn dish detergent on a regular basis. And I now use the 7th generation and the others. And the caller was right. They don't take off the grease. I've found that just plain ammonia or the lemon ammonia does that. And then I just use the less allergic detergents.
Yes, that's kind of the solution that many people who are avoiding fragrances come up with. And I think that we know that yellow dye number 5 that shows up in a lot of food is one of the worst allergens on the planet. And so it will actually induce a new allergy state in people. And it's everywhere. Everything that's kind of an orangey yellow is made with that horrible dye. The Dawn has dye and fragrance in it. So you're getting exposed to these allergens that trigger your mast cells to create problems. It's just an ongoing feed-forward loop.
It is, yeah. So now I have asthma on top of it all. And I stopped using fragrances, and I really missed it, but I find I can use essential oils in a spray bottle with 91% alcohol as a freshener, air freshener.
Excellent.
But I have the same problem, and I think it's a really toxic product. And since I haven't been using fragrances, I don't miss them anymore. In fact, I find they really trigger me if I'm near like cheap shampoo or cheap detergents.
Yes, I went to the mall over the weekend, and the fragrance attack was intense because everybody seems to need to douse themselves with a bottle of something disgusting before they walk around in public. And when there's 10,000 of them stuck together in a large building, oh my word, the swirl of nasty chemicals is intense.
I agree with you 100%, and I really appreciate your show.
I appreciate you. Stop by the tip jar if you'd like to. And thanks again. Have a great holiday season.
You too. Thank you.
Well, let's go to Scott in Safety Harbor. Good morning, Scott.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Hey, first off, I'd like to thank you guys. I don't know, anywhere else someone could ask these kind of questions and hear an actual voice for an answer. So thank you for that.
You're welcome.
My question is about water. I had some friends that were into weightlifting and all that stuff, and on days of shows or before shows, they would drink nothing but distilled water. Is that good or bad?
I have no idea why they did that. They had some reason, I guess.
Nothing in it, supposedly.
Yeah, okay. It's neither good nor bad, except that we generally drink water that has minerals in it. So if you're drinking distilled or reverse osmosis water, you're actually drinking stripped water. I don't think you need to spend the energy on distillation, and I don't think you need to waste the water that reverse osmosis wastes, because you waste a gallon for every gallon you drink. So those strip the water too much. A good carbon and fiber and resin filter, multi-stage, really does the job. But I don't see any reason to drink distilled water. I see reasons to use it in chemical reactions and things because it's deionized.
Gotcha. That answered my question. Again, thank you guys. I appreciate it.
You're welcome.
Don't know what's with my button here. All right, Doc, we're down to about the last little few minutes. So do you want to answer a few emails?
I think I got a couple emails here I can talk about. So, Gonzo says, good morning. 10 years ago in Tampa, we had a 3,000 people march against Monsanto. Yes, I think that's a good thing. We need to keep going because the only way we're going to change it is by standing up and yelling about it. Here's one from Robin. She has something to say. Innocent ignorant is what I call the angry caller today. His innocent ignorance most likely comes from how he was brought up. His parents or those that raised him suffered from innocent ignorance as well. It's when you just do what you're brainwashed to do. You don't question things. Back in the 50s, 60s, and 70s, the Kool-Aid was strong, literally. Raid, Lysol, Windex, Lemon Pledge, very pretty, puts a shine down, lemon good, all these things. The important thing to do is to break the chains of innocent ignorance, become educated, enlightened, and go back to nature. Sadly, most don't learn this until they're sick. I broke out of innocent ignorance at a young age. All natural products, no perfumes, no dryer sheets, no chemicals. As always, thank you for the enlightening conversation. Let's see. This one is for the guy with leg cramps. Jim, tell him to watch his salt and sugar intake. That's a good thing, too. They can contribute. Another one on drinking more water to help with cramps. Yes, I totally agree with that. Here's one. Love your show. We need more alternatives to traditional Western ideas that have such severe limitations. I appreciate your more global approach to information. I have a question about the radiation we all live with. Cell phones, microwaves, even electromagnetic radiation from the wires around us in our homes. Is there any recommendation you can make? Yeah, well, I could do a whole show on that, and I'm planning on doing some shows on that kind of toxicity, but you might want to look at Faraday clothing and a Faraday bag for your phone. But in the meantime, this has been another wonderful show. Thank you for your amazing input, and thank you for answering the phones today, Irene. Much appreciated. Bill, thanks for producing another show. And thanks to all of my Healthy Step listeners. Welcome back every week. See you next week for some really good, engaged conversation. And thanks to everyone at WMNF for holding this whole fort together.
Thank you, Doctor, for a great show as always. And until next Monday at 10 a.m., I'd like to thank our listeners and participants for giving a great participation in the show, and a shout out to Irene for handling the phones today. I couldn't have done the show without her. And everybody out there, take care, stay healthy.
You have been listening to the Healthy Steps Radio Show with Dr. Fred Harvey here on WMNF Tampa. Waiting at the signpost just ahead is 5 minutes of NPR News, followed by the Sustainable Living Show, hosted by the exquisite team of Annie Ellis and Tanya Vidovic. Until next Monday at 10 a.m., thank you for supporting and listening to the Healthy Steps Radio Show with Dr. Fred Harvey here on WMNF Tampa, your community-conscious radio station. Stay safe, stay thoughtful, and know that you are loved.